Does this recent Bloomberg article about how you need $3 million to retire have you in an uproar concerned? I'm Ryan Wheelis, host of the On the Money YouTube channel. Thanks so much for tuning in and stopping by. If you like the content we're putting out, give us a like down below, hit the subscribe button, and we'll keep sending you awesome videos as we make them and produce them. So this is kind of one of these things where you see this, you go, well, holy cow, Ryan, that's a $3 million is a big number, folks. And make no mistake about it, it is a big number to save and for retirement especially. But the question is do you have to have $3 million? Well, I've been getting a lot of calls at the office, a lot of concern. And the reality is we have to kind of look at what the article is saying, because this article and survey is popping up on all kind of retirement news websites outside of Bloomberg. So the biggest thing I noticed when I read this, folks, was this is an article or survey done for traders, people that actually trade stocks on Wall Street. And the first thing I kind of thought about was, well, does that make sense here in Texas? Because the cost of living up on Wall Street in the New York area is much, much greater than it is in Texas. In fact, a dollar goes much, much further in the state of Texas than it does in New York. So that alone kind of challenges that stature that you need $3 million to retire. But I don't want you to feel bad, feel like you're not prepared because you're getting ready to walk out the door and say, hey, tell my boss to take this job and shove it, and I've only got $1 million. So what I want to do is kind of look at a couple and look at their situation and see kind of where they were and if they have the ability to retire. So this is Sam and Sally, both age 60. They both work. Sam's employment income is $85,000 a year. Sally's income is about $65,000 a year. All right, so that's kind of what they do. And they're both age 60, and they're wanting to retire right now today and wondering if they can do that. Well, next thing we got to do is look at what their current savings is, okay, their current investment assets. And what we're going to see here is that they've got $100,000 saved in money that's outside of retirement account money, and they have $900,000 that's saved inside of what we call inside of retirement account money, all right? So to that end, they've got about $1 million overall. And if you looked at how their current assets are allocated in the bond and stock market, they're about a 60-40 allocation, and that's what's known as the balanced portfolio. Pretty common, by the way, all right? So what I want to do is say, okay, without making any changes to their portfolio or anything like that, let's kind of test whether or not they can retire. And so the next thing we got to look at is what are their goals, all right? So their goals are actually reasonably modest. Their goals for retirement income is $76,000 per year. They've got their home paid for. They don't have a lot of debt. They don't have any debt, as a matter of fact, and their expenditures aren't too high. So their goal is $76,000 a year. Well, we keep scrolling through here and we look at, all right, based on this, when do we look at taking Social Security, okay? Because Social Security for them is going to be super important. And the reason why it's going to be so important is $25,000 and $22,000 a year, nearly $47,000, which is a substantial amount of their retirement income, almost 60% of it, is going to come from Social Security. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Ryan, can we delay Social Security? Can we wait to take Social Security? And the answer is yes, we could. The challenge with doing that, though, in this particular scenario is if they wait to take Social Security until 66, or excuse me, in their case, it'll be 67, their portfolio has to produce all $76,000 per year over that 7-year period to get them to Social Security. And folks, if your portfolio has that kind of drain on it for a 7-year period straight, that can really potentially offset the long-term probability of success of your overall retirement plan. So in this case, Social Security is such an important factor for them, and we absolutely want them to take it at 62, because if they don't, the long-term probability of success of their plan goes down dramatically, and they may not make it, all right? So that's their Social Security plan. We look at their investments with their overall goal, all right? So we want to go to, for retirement purposes, and by the way, we've got them both living to age 90, all right? So next thing we'll do is look at their results. And what we're going to see in their results is going to be interesting. And so what we do here is we can run 1,000 trials, all right? And basically, we're going to see out of 1,000 trials, 850 of those trials had a pass rate, all right? So they have an 85% chance of long-term success in their overall plan. So the answer to the question of, hey, Ryan, can I retire with $1 million today and make it work? The answer is yes, folks, But there's a couple things to consider. One of those things is what is your actual income need? Because if I were to raise their income need up to $100,000 a year, this long-term probability of success is going to drop below the confidence zone and probably not be anywhere near 85%. In fact, I already did it. It was around 57%. So that's not a high enough probability of success for them to continue and be able to retire. That's okay though, because what could they do? Well, they could in fact delay retirement a couple of years, all right, and save some more money and have a less time of a less long span in retirement where their portfolio has to produce income. That's one thing they could do. The other thing they could do is they could rebalance their portfolio and try to be more aggressive. That might work, all right. Another thing they could do is look at the timing of Social Security. Well, we already kind of did that and determined that the best time to take Social Security for them was 62. So the reality is they can either spend less, work longer, increase risk, or change the way they take Social Security. But the bottom line here, folks, from a very high-level view, this couple with $1 million at age 60 can absolutely retire, provided they can live on $76,000 a year in income. So folks, don't let that survey from Bloomberg scare you too much. Been getting a lot of calls in the office about it. I just proved to you mathematically that a married couple age 60 with $1 million taking Social Security at 62 can retire with $76,000 a year in income, grown for inflation over time, and have an 85% chance of long-term success of not running out of money in their golden years. Pretty awesome stuff there. I'm Ryan Wheelis. Thanks so much for tuning into the On the Money YouTube channel powered by Allied Wealth. If you like the content we're putting out, please hit the like button down below and give us a subscribe as well. We'll send you out new content as we make and produce more content.